Murtz Jaffer here with another Big Brother Canada 7 interview. I am here with the ruler of Richmond Hill himself.
Lord Douglas of Richmond.
That's right. Anthony, the runner-up this season.
Yes, sir.
How was this experience for you?
This was a great experience for me. Honestly, I'm so blessed to have had an opportunity to compete on this type of platform. I'm so happy. I prayed every single day that I'd make it this far. Even though I finished number 2, the true champion won this game. That is my brother. I'm so happy for Dane, and I'm so happy I got to do what I came here to do.
What I found interesting about this is that obviously, like, you and Kira had this plan to get rid of Dane, and then it ultimately ended up being Mark. So how did that decision change? You know, like, when did that change sort of for you?
Yep. I had an interesting relationship with Kira. Kira I trusted, but I knew that Kira was extremely smart, and Kira had left out definitely a lot of pieces of information when they told me stories about where their mindset was at and everything. I was realizing that Dane was being a little bit disloyal. Dane was the ultimate reason why Corey left, even though Adam put Corey on the block as a secret assassin. Corey would not have went home if it were for Dane. I figured if Dane was as loyal to me and it was as much of a ride or die as he claimed he would have understood that Corey was one of my best friends, one of my closest alliances in the house, and he wouldn't have went against her. So I was very upset with that. I was very upset at a few other things that Dane had done, but at the end of the day, I'm loyal to the soil. I told Dane since day one that I had his back and I'd watched him. I saved Dane twice. Dane would not have been in this game if it was not for me. So I had to make sure I did what I could for Dane. Flipping Kira's vote was not difficult at all. Kira already had a disconnect with Mark. Mark said a couple things. All I did was paint a picture, and Kira colored it in.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about sort of that relationship with Kira. You know, like, there was a scene I remember specifically where you were sitting on the floor and you said, you know, I'm going to sit here so that I don't come off as, like, intimidating.
Yep.
Then there was a time when you and Dane were talking in the bathroom.
Yep.
Kira said, oh, you're talking about me, and stormed off, and you said, this is the last time. This is going to happen.
Yep.
I want to talk about that relationship because I always thought you guys were feuding, but at the same time, you had this solid relationship. I couldn't figure it out, and it was the one thing I couldn't figure out the whole game. So tell me more about that.
Kira is, I've never had a sibling. I've never lived with a brother or a sister, but Kira is the closest thing to that I've ever been around. I love Kira with everything inside of me. Kira actually stands for something. Kira has been through a lot, and Kira has definitely come a long way into being more them than they've ever been in their entire life, and I'm so proud of them. The relationship I had with Kira started off very, very early, where they were explaining things to me and educating me on things I didn't even know existed. We hit it off the bat, we stayed strong, but just like every other sibling that lives in a house and is around each other 24/7 with no room to breathe, we definitely got annoyed with each other. We fought, we argued, but just like always, we made up.
Where does this Anthony finesse come from? I feel like if I go to the grocery store and I want to buy a banana and Anthony is at the grocery store with me, he would make me buy cereal instead. Okay, where does this finesse come from?
Honestly, coming into this game, I'm 31 years old. I've seen a lot, I've done a lot. I've learned to understand even when I don't. I've learned to hear the things that people don't necessarily say. With that being said, when I came into this house, I wanted to observe and watch every single person. I wanted to know where you were in your life, where you came from, who your friends were, what your job was, who did you love, how was your last relationship, what are you looking for in your future relationship. Every single story that was told to me, I had to use and calculate with each word how I was going to approach people. With this information, I could find out who was loyal and who was disloyal.
You call yourself the leader of the Pretty Boys, and ultimately, do you feel like you were the one who broke them up? Because ultimately, it was your vote that sent Adam home. So were you the creator of the Pretty Boys or the destroyer of the Pretty Boys?
Adam had mentioned to me several different times that there is no way that I can be beat in a final 2. Adam mentioned 3 different times during the season before the vote for Adam to go home. That meaning, when I asked Adam about his final 2 with Dane, he said, yes, me and Dane are along the same page. Dane knows he can't beat you. I know I can't beat you. So yeah, we agreed to go to final 2 together. Adam was at a very vulnerable state when he told me that, and I knew it was the truth. I had to use that and go with my gut. I know that Adam didn't want to see me in the final 2. He didn't start playing Big Brother until Sam left. I knew that Dane didn't really want to see me in final 2, but when Adam went to Jury House, he definitely spread the word that he was a little upset. And, you know, with Sam there and all the other people, it's no surprise to me that they went against me. But, you know, these are people who didn't really know what was going on. These are people who had to leave the house because at some point in time they were disloyal to me. So I'm not upset about any decision I made or anybody that I got out.
Last question is, what was the best part about being on this show?
The best part about being on this show is really testing myself. You know, I get very annoyed easily. I get cranky. You know, I sometimes throw temper tantrums. But to be around a group of people and have to force my mind to stay controlled was one of the toughest things I've ever done in my entire life. There is no escape here. There are no phones. There are no television. You literally have to sit in a big room and communicate. You have to sit in a big room and build relationships. I am excellent at building relationships and excellent at communicating, and that's why I did so well in this game.
Anthony, thank you so much. Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Great game.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.